When I first saw the Sasuke Retrieval team, I instantly thought that Kiba and Choji weren't going to be of much use in battle, and I had my reasons to believe that. Since the moment Kiba fought Naruto and lost because of a fart, I never could take him seriously. He proved me right again when he almost got killed by Sakan, only surviving because Kankuro showed up to save him. But Choji on the other hand proved me wrong in the end. Like I said, I had my reasons to underestimate him as well. I've always liked Choji, because even though his whole thing is pretty much eating, I genuinely enjoyed him and found him funny on screen, but in actual battle, he didn't show anything promising. Up until this point, the only times we saw Choji in action were the human bullet tank versus Zaku and Dosu. Against Zaku he didn't even land a hit and only ended up dizzy, and against Dosu he straight up lost within 10 seconds of the match starting. In both cases he did nothing useful. But little did we know that Choji would make an epic comeback in his battle with Jirobo, not just as a fighter, but as a character too. So before we get to that moment, let's first start from the beginning of his fight and work our way up to it. Choji was the first one to break off from the team to take on Jirobo so the others could continue forward. At first, some of the team members were skeptical about Choji's chances of beating Jirobo, but once they learned from Shikamaru that he had an ace up his sleeve, the special Akimichi clan pills, they began to believe he could actually have a chance. Still, Shikamaru was worried. The pills would tremendously boost Choji's power, but there was also a risk involved, especially huge at that if Choji were forced to use the red pill. Choji himself hoped it wouldn't come to that, but he was determined to stop Jirobo no matter what. He wanted to prove to everyone that he wasn't just dead weight, but a true comrade who would play a crucial role in bringing Sasuke back. Now that cool fight with Jirobo has a lot of back and forth going on. Jirobo is initially stronger and Choji knows it, hence why he immediately takes the green pill, which makes him match Jirobo's power. And before anyone says,
"But that's not fair, Choji's using drugs."
Bro, the curse marks themselves are drugs. In fact, they are so intense drugs that there are a few who even survive the curse mark itself, let alone its levels 1 and 2, so you have no right to blame Choji for that. Choji actually does some pretty cool shit by using his human bullet tank and wrapping a kunai around him while rolling towards Jirobo. It does work really well and actually damages Jirobo, but then he uses his curse mark level 1 to take the lead again. So that forces Choji again to use the pills, this time the yellow one. He doesn't wanna use it, but in order to protect the others and keep his promise, he takes the risk. That pill will have even more drawbacks than the green one, but will give Choji even more power. So again, Choji takes the lead and with his super expansion jutsu, he seemingly beats Jirobo for good. But not quite. This is the first time that we see a curse mark level 2 in action, where it consumes you and gives you even more power. As Jirobo states, now he is 10 times stronger than before. Now it really seems that it's over for Choji. He is already really exhausted from the yellow pill, he can barely move, and by Choji's words, taking the red pill would result in a certain death. So Choji says, "Nah, fuck it. I might die, but I will beat this guy no matter what." And here is the moment where I dare to say that Choji literally became the main character. First of all, the way he transforms, not only the butterfly wings but his whole appearance, it looks so sick. Choji now legit looks like someone I wouldn't ever want to piss off. And then Jirobo just had it coming. Not only did Jirobo insult Choji, his friends called him fatso, but also unforgivably, he ate Choji's last chips. So now he had to pay for all of that, all concentrated in a single punch. With that fight, Choji really proved that he can be a real deal. Doesn't matter that he used drugs. Like I said, the cursed mark is also a drug, but even if it wasn't, the fact that he was the first to ask to stay and take the physically most powerful guy of the Sound Ninjas, and that he showed balls and risked everything just so he can protect the others and prove that he can be useful, is absolutely top tier shinobi. This all wouldn't have been possible if Shikamaru didn't believe in Choji, not only when he gathered him for the Sasuke Retrieval team, but when they were kids too. People mocked Choji and laughed at him, but Shikamaru showed faith in him and became his friend. Even when Choji left them and the others on the team were skeptical at first, Shikamaru never lost faith in him, and Choji knew that. That's what kept him pushing forward, just like when Guy Sensei believed in Lee and told him to take the risk of going for the operation because keeping Lee's dream alive was the most important thing. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, make sure to like, drop a comment, share the video and ring that notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.